Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia. I go by my middle name Masel-Debright on all my social media platforms. Today I'm going to talk you through a bit of my childhood or my background together with how I met my husband. Many people ask me, Lydia, did you meet your husband here in the UK? And today I'm going to give you a little bit insights about myself and how we met. I'm from a family of 8. My parents had 6 children, 5 female and 1 male. So the first 5 are female, and then the last one is the male. I'm the 4th daughter of my parent. Growing up, my mom and my dad were kind of very forceful. They weren't extremely rich, but they made sure that we were comfortable enough. Or I could say maybe my life was a bit in the middle, I would say. I went to school, primary school. All my siblings kind of went to international school. I went to international school. I went to Cambridge, but along the line, my parents were kind of struggling. So he took the last 3 out of international school and placed that into state school. But then at that time, my elder sister was in Holland, so she offered to, help, and she took my younger sister and my brother back to the international school. I was almost kind of close to finishing, so I was left to complete my basic school or maybe my junior school in state school. After that, I went over into a secondary school, but I went to day school. I chose a day school. I wanted a boarding school, but I was kind of scared of being, we all know how it is, hormone, like by the senior and stuff like that. So I'm somebody that you can say I'm a bit pampered or maybe a bit, I love my skin, and I don't love like being punished or something like that. So I took the option of going into a day school. And I took my time. When I'm getting ready, it takes me forever. So I was almost late, almost every time I'm late. And one point, I remember somewhere in second year or so, my dad decided to take me to school every morning. So I was the only high school girl at that time that my parents were bringing me to school, because we all know Africa, when you are like, even in junior, when you are like in year 4, you go to school on your own. So for a big girl like me to be coming to school by my dad, like my dad dropping me every morning, it was kind of a bit weird. But I lived through school like that, because my dad won't leave me in the house, because he knows I'm always late. My dad is one person that I was very, very close to. He named me after his mother. So basically we had a very good relationship, and I could say maybe I was one of my daddy's favorite. So I grew up knowing that I was a daddy's girl, that kind of thing. Like I said, my parents weren't extremely rich though. They weren't but my dad, he's one of a person that if it's your birthday, he will double your money, your pocket money. So these are the bits and bits that he also did as a father. He made sure that our school fees are always paid in time. I was never for once driven out of school because of school fees. And that's one thing that, I thank God for that, And my father will iron my uniforms, not only me, but the rest of my siblings every weekend. He will iron our uniforms and he will polish our shoes to make sure that his children goes to school on time. I think he always used to say that he doesn't have the money, so he's trying his best to give his children the best quality education that he can give them. And that was the gift that he offered to give, or maybe I should say. I know here in the UK, it's your responsibility as a parent to, make sure that your child goes to school. Whereas in Africa, some kids have to hawk in the streets to sell or something before they could even, make up money for their fees and go to school. So I was a bit kind of lucky there, you can say. But and then when I completed secondary school, my bigger sister, she's the eldest. I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning her name for the sake of my video. Her name is Constance, but popularly known in Netherlands as Mabna. and she brought me to the UK. So I came to the UK. It wasn't my husband that brought me, but it was my sister that brought me here to study. And then the same time, I think my younger sister too, my sister brought her, and then my senior sister, the one that I'm next to, she too, my sister brought her. So I think the three of us, we were kind of very lucky, because at that time my sister was, he knows a bit of hardship that my parents were going through, so she decided to, as a big sister, or as a senior that she is, she decided to take some part of the responsibility and help my parents out with that. And that I am very thankful, and I'm very grateful, and I will continue to be grateful, because she bringing me here kind of gave me that opportunity that I have now. And it's the same time, it's the same reason why I met my husband too, and the love of my life, that he has, both of us have produced 7 beautiful children out of it. And so yes, I am every day and every way thankful to my bigger sister, and wherever she is, I hope this video finds to her, and she knows that a little kid is just showing appreciation. When I came to UK, I was living with my elder sister, the one that I am next to, and we were living in Croydon. My husband, Majemina, was also living we were living in Streatham, and she was living in Croydon, but basically the same borough, I would say. And I used to do hair. I'm very good at doing hair. I think that is one of my gifts that, God gave me, my talent gift. So I did a lady's hair, a lady called Valerie, and she was in the same workplace as my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is a senior to my husband, my late husband. My husband is next to her. So she saw the hair and asked the lady, who did your hair? And then she said, oh, this girl. And one thing I didn't mention is that back home, my Ghanaian name, they call me Masel. And then she said, oh, Masel did my hair for me. And then she said, oh, can I have the number? So she called me and booked me to come and help her do the hair. And then the day that when I came, that was the day that I met my husband. I would say between him and I, it was kind of like love at first sight. I am a very sexual young woman, and I am attracted to intelligence. For me, my man has to be intelligent. It's kind of like, I don't know, but those are the key things that kind of attract a man to me. And so that day, in the course of me doing the hair, there was this program that was going on, and the program was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And every question that came, this guy will get it right, And then the ones that he get wrong, he would just, give me a look. I think he would be spying to see if I was paying attention or if I saw him. So each time he kind of like tried to look at me, we will both of them, we kind of like have an eye contact. And then he said to me, why are you looking at me? And I was like, how did you know I was looking at you? Like, if you weren't staring, you wouldn't know that I was looking at you. So I think halfway through the hair, he offered me a toast, I think. And then he went and did it, and with me, he did it his way, and I like my toast in a certain way, you know what I mean? Like, I like my toast like a bit crunchy, and he made it, I think it was a bit soggy for me because he put too much butter in it. And with my little big mouth, instead of me to take it as a a visitor and just manage it, I said, well, I don't like my toast like that. And I just got up and I head straight to the kitchen. Then something clicked me that I'm a visitor, and I'm saying, oh, sorry. And then she said, no, don't worry, you're already here, so you can do it yourself. I felt very embarrassed though, but then I did the toast, and then I went back and continued the hair. When I finished the hair, the sister said he will pay me, and he was supposed to give me my money. And he said, oh, come back the next day and collect your money. And I felt like, what? No, just give it to me, And he said, no, you come back tomorrow and collect it because I want to do my hair. I said, well, I don't do a man's hair. I guess he just wanted to talk to me. That's what I think. So he took my things. He seized my scissors and all my stuff with him. And then I went home. When I go home, my sister asked me, where is the money? And then I said, he didn't pay me. And my sister was like, what? And I said, yeah, he said I should come back tomorrow. It sounded a bit bizarre. So my sister was like, no, let me call them. I said, no, don't call them. Honestly, I don't know why I stopped my sister from calling, but I guess maybe I was also in love. I don't know, but I just didn't let my sister call them. And I did not go for my things either until after 2 weeks later. And then people have already booked me a lot, and I had about 3 or 4 bookings that I needed to do. So I called the sister and I'm like, I'm coming over for my things. And she said, fine. And then when I got there, I guess he calls his brother because he told me that he can't find the scissors and the things and that he needs to ring the brother to come and get it for me. So when he came and got it for me, and then we were in the bus, the bus was a bit packed. 109, people who live in that route knows that bus 109 and 250 are always full most of the time. So we were in the bus and we were holding on to the bus. And I found out that he had his hands in his pocket throughout. And so I was standing, in front of him. And then when the bus was about to kind of light off, it did this, that. And I went backwards a little bit whilst my back touched his front. And I found out that little man was a bit, up there. So it was, I noticed it and I decided to play, kind of tease him, but play along, something like that. And he has his hand pocketed all this while. So what I did was, when each time the bus is about to light off the next stop, I will let go my hand, and then the bus will just shh, and then I'll go backwards, and my butt will hit his thing, And men will always be men, like he have it, like, and that's this thing we never spoke about, even though I knew it was something that I was doing to him over and over again most of the time. But when we go in the bus and the bus is empty, he will prefer us sit at the back of the bus, and then sometimes you'll be touching and kissing, and it was weird for me from an African girl, from a Christian home. Back home you cannot even bring your boyfriend home. So for somebody to see me in a bus kissing a man was a big deal for me, and I was a bit shy, but he kind of was like, oh, here we are in UK, nobody cares about anybody, so I'm like, okay, and then I'll just do it, and after I'll clean my mouth and I'll go back home. So this was how we kind of met. I am fast track. My husband was somebody he was very open in the course of the relationship, and one time we had sat down to talk about ourselves, and he brought it up about numerous times where he goes in the bus with me, and it's like he felt like I was doing that on purpose, and he said that's why he always have his hand in his pocket. And I said, well, I also knew that something was going on there. That little man between your legs was always up there. And that's why I always also leave the bus just to come and hit it. I don't know why I was doing that, but I just did. And so I think our relationship kind of kicked off from there, and we became best of friends eventually, friends, and then it led to relationship. I think we just kind of liked each other. I don't know how, I don't even remember, when he told me, oh, I want to start a relationship with you. I don't remember even that conversation even started. But all I know was that one time he made me lie to my sister that her sister wanted me to take care of her children for her when she wanted to take me to clubbing. So we went on First Trap. I don't know if anybody knows that area. At that time, Mo Kent Road, around there was a club there, African club, and it was First Trap. So that day I told him that I didn't bring any clothes, and if I go back home to take clothes, my sister will ask me that you're only going to babysit a child, so what do you need these clothes for? And so he said, no, don't worry about it, let's just go to the shop. We went to Nest, and then we grabbed some clothes, and I remember I took a heel, and it was like, is it not okay? I will end the video here. I do not want the video to be too long. I have promised my viewers that my videos will be 10 to 15 minutes maximum, so I will end here. So now you know a bit about me, you know how I met my husband. So Next week we shall talk about maybe a little bit more about our relationship. But like I said, I hope my story will, touch and inspire someone going through similar situation as mine, and know that all hope is not lost, and know that now you know a bit about me and how I met my husband. I'll leave you with this message. Always learn to appreciate life, to live it, and love more. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification button, like, comment, share, and I shall see you on my next video. Bye.